this is part 2, and it's all about the maintenance of the things that I do to keep my fish. So on a daily basis you've got to feed your fish. Less and often is better, so in the morning I feed them and in the evening I feed them. Sometimes though, maybe once a week or twice a week I won't feed them at all, just to give them a break, because they don't really need it all the time. The things that I do on a weekly basis is a water change and trimming the plants. That's all I do. When I'm doing my water change, all I do is siphon off the substrate and make sure that that's all nice and clean, and I clean the glass as well whilst I'm doing that. It takes about 20 minutes a tank, if that, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Then on a monthly basis what I do is I clean my filters. So what does that mean? I'll show you that in a minute, because I've got to clean a filter in one of my other tanks. I have internal filters, so it's a bit of a pain, but you've got to do it, especially if you're keeping carbon. You need to get that replaced on a monthly schedule, because essentially it soaks in bad stuff and then just sits there clogged up with that. Over time it will slowly start releasing that bad stuff back, so if you're doing it on a monthly cycle you'd be fine. There's no problems with that. The one in here, this doesn't have carbon, this has Biohome Ultimate. That one will just give the filter media a good rinse out, so the pads, and then replace any pads that are starting to look a bit perished. And that's it. So I'm going to show you that now. So this is the first tank I'm going to sort out today. This one, I've had a good look around. So there's a bit of algae on the glass. I'm going to clean that off. I've looked at the substrate and some of that needs cleaning up too. This is gravel, so it's pretty easy to sort out. All I do is make sure that the actual waste I can see, I siphon off, give it a good move around, and that's about it. I do 20 litres on this tank. It's a 55 litre tank, so it's about half. Sometimes I do a bigger one, depending on how much algae's in there. Okay, so I've siphoned out all the water in the tank, and now this is something I do monthly, which is this carbon filter needs a good clean out and it needs the carbon replacing. So to do that I just drop the pad out. I'm going to keep this has never changed. I've had this for like, I don't know, 8 months, and basically I'm just going to give it a good squeeze out to get rid of all of that crud in the filter. You can see all that brown stuff. So this is in the tank water. This is not got chlorine in it at all, so it's unchlorinated water. And the better squeeze out you give that, the better the water will flow in there. So this is empty as well now. There's no carbon in there, so I've got to fill that up. So that's that done. I'll just put that back together now, put it back in the tank. The filter's back in the tank, and the last job for me to do is basically just clean the glass, get that looking good, put all of the stuff back where it should go, and I'm done. That's all I've got to do. And basically just the water change and cleaning the glass is something I do once a week. That filter thing, you've only got to do once a month. So that keeps it easy. I use a bucket on a chair to get it to siphon back into the tank. Another technique I've seen is people use like a bag, a waterproof bag, fill that with water, put that in the aquarium and then sort of just slowly let it go. Works really well, but I haven't got a bag, so this is how I do it. That's dechlorinated water, about the same temperature as the tank. That's done. That's monthly and weekly maintenance all finished now. I can go and sit down and do nothing.